I have spent $595 to get the sculptures needed to max Tomyris. So in this video, I'm going to answer a simple question. Is she worth expertising? And, I mean, if you are going to use her, what are some of the best pairs to get some serious value? Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in this video, sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, I'm talking about whether or not it's worth it to go all in on Tomyris like I did by buying the daily special offer. And for those of you who don't remember, I actually got first on the Mightiest Governor for Tomyris, and also I landed the city skin for infantry health, which was a serious, double win in a way that I have actually never gotten ever again in Rise of Kingdoms to get this city skin as well from a Zenith of Power. Now, we've got a Zenith of Power just around the corner, but that's not the topic of this video. In this video, I'm going to expertise Tomyris, and I'm going to talk about whether or not that's really even a move that's worth making. So maybe the place that we start is, what do I get by expertising her? Then we'll review the costs that went into this thing, and what I got from the bundles, which actually was surprisingly good, surprisingly good. So first and foremost, if you get your Tomyris to a 5-1-5-5, you're already in a great spot. The reason people use this commander is to boost the skill damage taken by a target. That's it. That's the reason. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Now, actually, there is a little bit more that she does. She's reducing the defense of a target, which is a very big deal. That's a passive ability which will stack with active skills and other passive skills. So it's instant proc as well, and you know I love instant proc damage or abilities for open field. So Tomyris is really powerful when you're bringing lots of skill damage to hit something. It's also really powerful for swarming flags. That is really, really exceptional. Now, what do you get, though, beyond 5-1-5-5, where you already, from this fourth skill, are maximizing your chances to apply the poison debuff and make the target take extra skill damage? And you're getting a skill here that is relevant for hitting other cities. Nobody cares. That's not important to me. What you get from the expertise is actually pretty good. I mean, let me tell you what it does, and then let me put it into perspective. Troops led by this commander gain 10% increased attack, 10% increased counterattack damage, and, by the way, when attacked, reduces the attack of cavalry units by 10%. Now, let's just forget this last part where you're shoring up your vulnerability against cavalry. If I told you there was a way to put 20% of stats onto a commander, would you do it? You'd probably be just so hyped, to put an additional piece of equipment. If I told you, and I know this isn't exactly how this works, but if I told you that you could put something that had 20% of stats, let's just, I don't know, we'll pick Nebu over here, pretend this isn't talented, right? If I told you could put 20% of stats onto a commander, you'd be hyped. And I get that it's attack, and I get that it's counterattack, okay? But all I'm trying to say is that it is a meaningful boost. It's a non-trivial boost. And its greatest benefit is in some of the situations where you're weakest, when you're against cavalry and when you're being attacked. And my experience with Tomyris is that people try to swarm out this march because they know how controlling she can be in setting the pace of the battlefield. Because not only is this debuff really powerful, but there's this weird, magnet that comes with putting that little purple debuff onto the target where everybody's like, I'm going to start hitting that thing too. It focuses everybody's attention onto the target. And man, if you see a Tomyris, you're going to take her off the field. So I actually think that unlocking this expertise skill is pretty freaking solid. Is it worth the $595 that I spent, though, on top of also getting a first place in a Mightiest Governor? Let's first of all unlock this expertise, and let's talk about what I got from the $595 that went into this thing, which is not freaking cheap. And I am hyped here, man. Another commander expertise. I get some achievement points. Let's freaking go. So the way, oh yeah, there it is. Fall of Cyrus. Boom. Oh, another one. Gathering of Elites. Boom. 2 freaking achievements unlocked over here. That's amazing. Child of Fate. Wow. Gathering of Elites. Lock it in. Avatar Frame, the Great Wall. Unbelievable, man. Achievement points up to 5,880 at this point. But let's get back on target, Chisgule. Okay, so we're talking about the daily special offer. This is where I got Tomyris from. And you actually get a lot of stuff from the daily special offer. Like, it's kind of shocking. In each one of these chests, you get a chance of getting some legendary commander sculptures. And when you buy all 3, or anytime you just open 3, one of the 3 chests that you open is guaranteed to have between 1 and I think it's 9 legendary commander sculptures. And I mean, actually, it's 1 in 10. I can't remember the last time I got 10, but you get the idea. It even tells you the chances in here. So the chances are actually not even. Gosh bless it, man. The chances are not even for getting Mulan or however many or whatever type of commander sculpture that you're getting here. It's weighted toward the lower number of sculptures. No wonder, man, it took me so much longer than I thought it would. Well, at least they show you the chances now, and you've got a, 53% chance almost of getting a freaking silver key. Also, it is hilarious to me that they give you a 0.037% chance of a universal legendary commander sculpture. Why even do that? But okay, so all that aside, across all these bundles, you're getting a grand total of actually 14 hours of speed ups. The silver keys are basically negligible, right? There's a little bit of resources in here, a little bit of experience tomes. The action point potions are very important. The golden key is very important. Why am I telling you all of this again? Because when I compare what I got from this to, like, let's say Max purchasing a event bundle, right? Like Max purchasing, let's say, the set sale bundle, and going in and buying, let's say, like, armed to the, what is it? It's not armed to the teeth anymore, right? Oh my gosh. Armed to the teeth, man, I'm dating myself. The geared up bundle, right? That's about $600. And when I compare what I got from just doing this, it's kind of remarkable. Like, the daily special offer is actually really big value. And let me just run through this. I got about 70 days of speed ups, which is less speed ups than I would have gotten from doing, a holiday bundle plus going through armed to the teeth once. But you get more than just the speed ups, right? I'm also getting gems, and the amount of gems I got was roughly equivalent to what I would have gotten from buying those bundles. So the gem amount, that's not where the big value is either. When I look at the other things that I'm getting, though, this is where it gets a little bit out of control. First and foremost, 119 gold keys is a lot of gold keys. I mean, normally these holiday bundles, they'll just roll up with like a bunch of gold keys typically. This is a lot of gold keys compared to what you would get in a holiday bundle. Also, but more important, you get more than double the VIP than you'd be getting from buying bundles like you normally would, even the holiday bundles. Double the VIP. So if you needed VIP, these daily special offers actually give it to you at a rate literally more than double what I was going to get from other places. But there's more. Action points are absolutely freaking insane. Like, action points are absolutely gangbuster, man. So I pulled down almost 60,000 action points, which I can turn into honor and crystals and speed ups and gems and materials and resources. That is insane, but I'm not done. Because if I told you that for $600 worth of those other bundles, you could get, 500 legendary commander sculptures, which I'm just guessing that's about how many I got. I actually looked. I've been buying this bundle since every day since the end of May, man. It was insane. 500 legendary commander sculptures for a bundle and a half. That's insane. That's so much value. It's so much value. The daily special offer, if you want one of these commanders, is gangbuster. Now, which commanders do you go for in the daily special offer if that's what you're going to do? I think that it's got to be Mightiest Governor Commanders, because other commanders you could get from the Wheel of Fortune. And I do want to caveat this, okay, by saying that, hey, look, only spend in a mobile game if you can truly afford to do so. I'm no financial advisor, but save for retirement and have an emergency fund and prioritize your family. All that stuff seems really important to me. So the commanders that I think are worthy of kind of going in on here are actually, there's a very small number. It would be Saladin, it would be Tomyris, and it would be Constantine and Mulan. Those are the ones that I think are really kind of worth going for. And you could go for some of these other ones that, like for example, in the early game, Charles Martel or even Richard I would be a really solid pickup. I think that double C for rallying barb forts, as weird as that sounds, is something you could do, I guess, if you somehow maxed out the other ones. Obviously, Esong is freaking gangbuster if you don't already have him maxed out, but I feel like everybody maxes him out, right? So there's actually a lot of commanders in here that are really solid. And the only ones that I'd kind of steer you away from are the ones you're going to get from Mightiest Governors over and over, like Alexander the Great. I wouldn't do Khan. Just a few examples, right? So keying back in on Tomyris, who am I going to pair her with? What would I recommend? And my experience of using her extensively on the field with Artemisia was that, you know, look, often in open field combat, you don't just get to, like, charge in there and smash, man. So if you're battling an Ark of Osiris primarily, okay, yeah, you can send your march in there and you'll just have it there until it's freaking gone, right? That's fine to sad face your march there. But in open field and pretty much everywhere else, there's this like weird like back and forth, and you're trying to manage where the sort of invisible line is, where if you cross the line, you're just dead and everybody swarms you. So there's this sort of back and forth going on constantly. You don't always get to just sit there for 15 seconds to get a max stack of Tomyris. You want to get a big punch and you want to get out. That's typically what you want to do. So I actually don't love the idea of hindering the rage on a commander like Artemisia, for example, which I have done in the past in order to try to get 15 stacks. I actually don't think that's a worthwhile endeavor. And I guess when they reset my Artemisia, they reset all my talent builds as well. But I avoided getting Burning Blood on this commander. I avoided things that would generate rage, specifically to make sure that I would get more stacks of Tomyris. I would never do that ever again. Not a chance. Commanders that I would pair Tomyris with, honestly, I think that Artemisia and Ramses are two of the very best archers you could pair with for the open field. Every time I pair with Edward of Woodstock, I'm very sad that I did it. It's just, look, the march might be fine, but it is the biggest, hey, come hit me, second only to Esong in the game, man. Or I guess an epic commander would be higher priority. But like, if you see an Edward on the field, that thing just gets melted. It's so bad. So I would stick with Artemisia. I would stick with Ramses. And here's the thing. In my starting murder ball, I don't have enough room for freaking Tomyris. Not with those commanders. Not with Artemisia. Maybe not with Ramses. I want lots of AoE damage. So I made a video detailing what I think the very best murder ball is, at least for me, and I'll have a card up in the top for like what is the best 5 freaking marches you can bring. Things like Guan, Leo, and Trajan with Harold, and freaking like XY or Saladin with William. And then I've got 2 archer marches left, right? So, 2 marches left. I'm going to bring archers. So does Tomyris make that top 5 murder ball? And I think the answer is yes. One march that I'm sure to bring to the open field, right, is I want to have Nebu. I want to have Esong on the field. I'm probably going to go and max Gilgamesh. I feel like I'm going to need to rally with that in this upcoming KVK, almost certainly. So I'm probably bringing Gilgamesh with Esong, and then I want to bring Nebu, as I was saying. I think the only place left is Nebu Tomyris. And that will make it so that my very, very, very high skill damage murder ball gets yet another debuff onto the target. Get freaking wrecked. I think that's what I would do. Now, if I want to cycle this murder ball to be more tanky, I take out the Tomyris, I bring in Ramses, right? You just bring in higher health and skill damage reduction and defense marches in order to make it more tanky. But I think if I'm bringing that high skill damage punch, that this is a reasonable option. The only other thing that might take higher priority would be a Monitori and Artemisia for just huge AoE damage if I want to instead focus in on AoE damage. But single target damage is not necessarily a bad thing. I just think that AoE is often better for the kinds of fights that I find myself in big groups. And if I isolate a couple targets anyways, who cares if I have single target damage or AoE? I'm probably going to win that situation anyways, right? Like, most 1v1s, I'm not up against somebody with better commanders and gear than me. So, do I need the AoE? So, I like to have lots of AoE in my murder ball, but I think that the Tomyris is just a great choice here. And that will make my top 5 or my top 6 if for some reason I feel like I've got to bump her out. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about Tomyris. It's like 2 years later, and I finally expertised her, and I'm feeling great about it. I'm actually really surprised that like this far down the road, I went the value route, I actually expertised her, and I'm going to be using her probably in this next KVK. Like, subscribe, leave a comment letting me know what you think, and join my Discord, discord.gg/Chisgule, so you don't miss notifications about live streams. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.